precincts, community affairs doing what they do, you know, and they here, got to show them.
Think you got enough?
What's up, bro?
And then y'all be wanting to spread off, so I'm not talking to y'all.
You know what it is, I'm here. From the 79th, we got Officer Chris here. You know,
How y'all doing?
Charles, you know, do a lot of events with him with the 79th. You understand? So, we got a lot of officers here. Oh, wow. Big Chris is over 20 years. Swag Magazine, internet all over, TV shows. It's a blessing to be here with you. Alright? Check them out, show some love and support. Salute the legendary. All of them know. I've been doing Stop the Violence for 20 years.
Thank you for the support, man. The community needs you. They need you more than ever.
I Stop the Violence is different. We actually go to schools. Yeah. Hey, Sarge, what's up, Sarge?
What's up, bro? Thanks again for the call.
All right. How are you? How's it going, Sarge? Yeah. I see you sent me a text. I'm like, come over and show some love and support. I appreciate it. If it wasn't for my 81st, yo, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. You know? Be safe, brother. All right. Yeah, but there's a lot of officers out here going. Look, matter of fact, hey, you come by and get you some masses. You understand? Get you some masses and, you know, be safe. You know? They got masses and gloves. Y'all stop by. All right? Get some scenes. Oh boy. Let's spin around. Man.
Now, what's all this smoke talk y'all was talking about?
What's up?
What's all this smoke talk y'all was talking about?
You came here, you came with some yo. They like do jump or what? You did that, not me. They do jump. That suck.
Y'all everybody sitting around not getting active. Everybody sitting around like this. Like, get active.
I can do out there. He said, you gotta
Y'all gonna be for the
Stop the violence, like stop the violence down. I'm over here showing some love and support. Fellow officers, you know.
You don't want no fucking food.
Hey, let me stop by. Excuse me. Never back there. Give me the smoke all day.
I was filming stuff, so I can't help. I don't know the rest of these cats.
Some more community affairs officers. You know, salute to all of our community affair officers.
I'll see you around.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's it. That's in there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right. All right. How's it going? All right. All right. How you doing? Beautiful event. All right. Yes, sir. How's it going?
How you doing?
Stop the violence.
Sick.
20 years strong. See what it is. Is that the new
Yes.
That's Williams, right?
No, Glenn.
Huh?
Deputy Inspector Glenn.
Deputy Inspector Glenn. Okay, I need to meet him. I was wondering if I could put my banner up and speak to the deputy. Huh? It's me.
I know. I hear you say.
I never met him though.
Oh, you never meet? Okay.
No.
Mr. Jones.
Yeah. Maybe I'll give him one of my cards. I was gonna put my banner up. Stop the violent banner, you know. I'm doing some footage. My sister sent me a flyer that y'all was doing this. I'm like,
We got this last minute. When he sent it to you? Last night. That's when we got it.
all right, how you doing?
Come on, wake up, man.
How you doing? I've been following you on Twitter.
Right.
Yo, that's it.
Now you made up.
Where you from, man? I usually do National Night Out. I do a lot of but I even come by. I said, if you walk there, I'm not saying which side of August go forward? Excellent. So you're on our side. You're on our side. Yeah, you too. All right. All right. Yeah, you know, matter of fact, look, wait. I didn't do it like that right. I'm videoing, but I'm supposed to snap pictures too. That way I can send it to them on Twitter. You know? It's me.
What's up, man?
Oh, God.
What up, man? I thought about you like a week ago, man.
I told that dude just like I said, jokes. Because it's an Asian lady. I didn't know they gave me all the information. It's good seeing you. How the kids, everybody? All right. Give them my love. Yeah, we got Robert Carnegie over here. You know, a lot of the speakers. Hey, how's it going, my brother? Yes. Huh? Well, I know we got Robert Carnegie and a couple of more people. Okay. You know, but look like they got some new people that wasn't on the flyer. So, you know.
Is the man coming out here too?
Well, I don't know if he's doing. He wasn't on the flyer, but for everybody showing up to different precincts, he might be.
Okay, yeah.
You know?
Like cameras around.
Huh?
Like around cameras around.
Well, I'm a little guy. You know?
No, I hear you, bro.
I'm a little guy, and they all know who I am.
Yeah.
I've been doing Stop the Violence
Okay.
in Brooklyn, Queens, Bronx, Staten Island, all across New York, Monroe, New York. But I Stop the Violence. They bring team to the school, the parks for the kids. I'm the legendary DJ over at the box. Remember the group? What people do for money?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You
You can go to YouTube because you'll see some of the footage. DJ OJ, in fact, you can type in Big Butch Family Jones, or you can type in DJ OJ Jones. You know? You'll see everything. We got, You can type in the Big Butch Family Jones too. We got different, YouTube, but they all link together. Our kid got shot over here a couple of weeks. I heard a kid got shot over here.
Yeah, it's infant. I was over there last week.
We really haven't been getting to do any events because we got permits, but by the COVID-19 they're not letting us do it.
That's true. Keep that shit right from here. Right here.
Yeah, that's what they said. Right here, where the tree is. I see that. The Mackie Thumps will give you some feedback. The Mackie Thumps,
Oh, okay.
them are good. They'll give you some feedback. Oh, wow. Look at my boy. We'll see.
good. In the sun, you need a tent over here.
No, the camera.
Oh, camera. Okay.
We even have Christopher Charles back there. Matter of fact, let me see if I can zoom in on Christopher Charles. Did we get him? Christopher Charles. Right? Okay. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Christopher Charles right there. Let me get a good shot. You know? And that's Christopher Charles there. We have him. What's up, my brother? Alright. 79th Christopher Charles. Then we're gonna go over here. We have Davis. With Davis. Davis right here. Get a shot of Davis and right? Get a shot of Davis. And we have Depp over here. Depp right here. Lieutenant Depp. We got let me see. Okay. We got him here. We got him here. Alright? Yes. Okay. We right here, okay, and we doing this live, you know, they just said, you know, all right, bro. Shout out to my brother. See how cool it is. Right? Cool it is. See big camera. Alright. Let's see what it is. Everything's live. Alright? Big Butch Family Jones, which I'm representing. Here with the camera, going out here. Like I said, I'm eating icy, that's why I'm massive. Icy, cool it off. Right? The mosquitoes out here too, y'all. I should have sprayed up. The mosquitoes is eating me up. Alright, shout out to my brother, my wife, all of my kids, grandkids. Stop the violence. You know what it is here. Alright? You know, it's your boy. How you doing? All right.
Councilman Carnegie? Councilman Carnegie, if you could come to the stage.
assistant chief to the council and the Councilman Walker. One that many ones who really sacrifice every day to keep us protected and far from harm. I pray that you may cover them with the memories of your poor and mighty ways. Father, I would also pray for them that have come together today and bring forth a little understanding, because I know that in conversation of Israel's solution. I thank you, my God, and I ask you that your wisdom and guidance and give us, my Lord, the necessary tools for us to end this scourge of ungodliness. Father, in the name of Jesus, which is mine,
Thank you again, everyone. So, before we get started, I'm going to introduce you to our dais. We have Councilman Robert Carnegie, Chief of Community Affairs, Jeffrey Madry, we have Chief of Detectives, Rodney Harrison, we have Chief of Patrol Borough, Brooklyn North, Judith Harrison. So I'm gonna pass the mic over to Councilman Robert Carnegie. He's gonna pretty much share his vision and go over. Thank you again.
Thank you. What's up, Bed-Stuy? So I am so proud and glad that this is happening here. Because I believe that every time
I think I've seen him around before. Something like that, yeah. I've seen him around before.
And so we sit poised with an opportunity to turn around the narrative about the rational
No, they like if there's like a big case like this, community affairs responds out.
Demonstrate what a community can do when it partners with law enforcement to change the narrative. So today I'm so pleased to sit with some of our strongest allies in the NYPD that serve admirably.
Well, I think he put this together
and have demonstrated leadership that shows that we can together begin to tamp down gun violence. I want to dispel this narrative that if you demand police reform, you cannot support the men and women in blue, and that's just not true. They're not mutually exclusive. We can ask for reforms. My community, the 175,000 people I was elected to represent, never asked for the abolishment of the police. What they asked for is the police in our communities while still respecting our civil and human rights. And that's what we believe is possible with the leadership team that we have currently in the NYPD, and I look forward to moving forward in that direction. I had to make a few acknowledgments before we get started. Dr. Tolu Olupane is here from Interfaith Hospital. She is a psychiatrist at Interfaith Hospital is here. I'm just going to get a few remarks from her after we begin, because what we believe is that gun violence is now and has always been a public health issue. So while we've taken the burden of violence on in our communities as if it's synonymous with our communities, which is not, this country's love affair with violence dates back for decades. In its music, in its films, in its art forms. So violence, gun violence being just a small portion of it, because really, if NYPD wanted to report it, domestic violence is up tremendously. And people are every day secretly and silently suffering from domestic violence. The sensationalism around gun violence, and we're on hollow ground because this is the site nearly a week ago where a 1-year-old child lost his life. And that's very sensational, and it gets all of our attention. But while that's happening, simultaneously, domestic violence is destroying the lives and homes of people that you wouldn't imagine, because we don't always see it. I also want to acknowledge the presence of SOS Bed-Stuy. And if you don't know who SOS Bed-Stuy is, they are the violence interrupters who are on the ground every single day and who are responsible for tamping down the potential for retaliatory violence that comes out of every single shooting. Every single shooting isn't just a shooting. There's the potential for all kinds of violence that can spring out of that without the assistance of the violence interrupters, incredible messengers from SOS Bed-Stuy. Bridge Street Development Corporation, the District Attorney's Office, which is tabling here, the Taj Gibson Foundation, which stepped up and is responsible for financing the entire cost of the funeral for the family who lost their young one. And Children of Promise. Children of Promise is a nonprofit organization that caters to the children of people who are incarcerated, and who operates an after-school program and summer camps, so that those families and those children don't feel estranged from their community while they're estranged from their parent or parents who are incarcerated. So my remarks before we hear from the doctor are this. Thanks to Chief Madry and Chief Harrison, both Chief Harrison, for participating to hold this town hall. And by the way, this came out of the new chief, his office, and a partnership between his office. So we should give him, Chief Madry, a round of applause. The reason it's important to acknowledge that is because a lot of times, the only thing we concentrate on with the NYPD is the act of policing. This is a proactive movement to make sure that while we partner with the police, we have sustainable communities that work with the police. So I definitely want to give a special shout out to Chief Madry for always doing that in Brooklyn Borough North, and now we get to watch him do it a little selfishly. We get to watch him do it for the entire city. So peace on our streets means families being able to enjoy the park, children able to play on the playground. Peace on our streets means a summer of ice cream trucks, double dutch, and basketball. We're gathering here today because we want peace on our streets. The alternative is the anguish we saw last week, a week that left 3 shot dead and at least 9 wounded. Families in unimaginable anguish and people recovering from injuries in hospitals. That's the agony of senseless gun violence. That's the agony of a family having to say goodbye to a 1-year-old child. That alternative to peace on our streets is really no alternative at all. We need to build towards more and more peace on our streets, more peace of mind for everyone in our community. That's why we're here today. Getting to that peace of mind is going to take the contributions of all of us here. We need to work together, explain what steps are taken now, and hear from you about what steps we should be taking. Important ideas and initiatives so far including going all out for our youth development opportunities. That's sports, computer programming, arts and music, programs run by community organizations. Creating more opportunities for education and mentoring, jobs and service. It's up to us to use the work together to make the ideas we discuss here a reality. Peace on our streets will take us all listening together, working together, and building up our community together. So thank you all for being here and participating in this conversation. Oh, out of the corner of my right eye, I spy Dee Bailey, who's in the building, who is and has served as the glue to many of us in this community and getting things accomplished. Thank you, Dee. Now I'd like to hear briefly from Dr. Tolu about some of the initiatives around mental health that are going to be necessary, and some of the conversation around the fact that violence is now and has always been a public health issue. Dr. Tolu from Interfaith Hospital.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for inviting me for this presentation. And I'm very happy with what you said, that from the mental health point of view, we do see violence as a public health issue. In our world, when we think about why violence is happening, we think about individual things that are going on, we think about things that are happening in the family, and we also talk about things that are happening at the community level. From and you don't have the right people giving you guidance at home in your community, it's easy to join the wrong associations. Also, sometimes people that get into drugs, we know that things like marijuana, cocaine, these drugs can increase the risk of violence for some people, not all people. And then also for some people just having low frustration tolerance. And these are things that oftentimes we miss. Or we'll just say, oh, the person just has an attitude, they can't control their temper. But for some people, it's actually a biological issue that's happening at the brain level, that they're having difficulty controlling their impulses. And then we could talk about things that's happening in the family. A lot of people are overworked, parents are not in the house, there's lack of supervision. If there's no one there to give you the right guidance because parents are working, everybody's working so hard, it's also easy to start, watching the wrong things on television. No one's seeing what you're watching behind closed doors, playing the video games that are extremely violent. And each year they develop new models that are getting the kids hooked on this stuff. And then parents not being at home, not knowing who their friends are, who they're associating with. These are things that also at the family level can contribute. And then also importantly is at the bigger societal level. We know that a lot of our communities are not as strong as they should be. I'm happy with the points that you made that we need more community organizations, more organizations for the kids, more mentoring. Because if you don't get that guidance, I'm all right. I'm glad my leg hurts. Also have the right adults in your life at the right age to give us the right direction. Aunties, uncles, grandmas, grandpas. But the stress that we are going on in our society today is breaking those bonds. But we in this room, we each have an opportunity to try to mentor and try to sort of, bring some help to sort of do the best that we can to recreate some of this family ties because these things play a role. And then the bigger public health issue, which is what is happening now, is the pandemic. In our world, we're seeing a lot of breakdowns, a lot of mental health issues, depression, anxiety. In families now, there's a lot more. If the families are not getting along, there's actually more conflicts in the house. Couples are fighting, kids are fighting, siblings are fighting because everybody's grouped together. So people sometimes are just getting involved in the wrong things, and they're not. If you're already struggling to control your impulses, and you're now in the pressure cooker of this pandemic, these kind of things that's happening. Also, we know that there's a lot of unemployment. It's hard for kids to get jobs now. There's no jobs. In the summer, at least you could have maybe worked in some ice cream shop, or being able to play outside with your friends. A lot of that is being taken from us, and we're having to counsel even adults on how do we cope with this pandemic and what's going on. So I think we need those kind of interventions as well for the kids. Also, the issue of what's been happening with BLM, a lot of feelings of anger and rage about the stuff that we go through as people of color in this country. So we have the pressure cooker of many issues. And obviously, these are major public health issues that we can't just solve in one day. What I will say is, on our end, in the world of mental health, in the world of psychiatry, I'm from Interfaith Medical Center. I'm representing our CEO, Lorraine Brown. We are right on 1545 Atlantic Avenue. We have an extensive mental health services. We have 3 inpatient units. We have 2 outpatient clinics. We have a detox program, a rehab program. We are able to take patients. If you identify anyone that you think is going through a hard time right now and needs extra support, our doors are open to help to give these kind of interventions. And I'm very excited about what the councilman said in terms of increasing more community engagement and more activities for the youth and things like that for more prevention. So I have my residents here, Dr. Popola, Dr. Lalu, can you raise your fingers, your hands? They're passing out flyers to talk about our hospital. Thank you so much for inviting us, sir.
Before you move on, I just want to acknowledge our newly elect Assemblywoman Stephanie Zinnerman is here with us. If you could just stand up, Stephanie. So Stephanie got new young legs, so we're gonna work Stephanie. She's looks excited. Stephanie is not new to this community, obviously. She's done tremendous work as my former chief of staff and now as the Assemblywoman-elect. We look forward to working together on issues around gun violence and every other issue that's in our community, which you're well aware of. So thank you for actually being here. And I want to acknowledge a good friend of mine from Crown Heights. We got Rabbi Cohen in the house. Oftentimes it's asked, because we as a community of color often go stand with the Jewish community when they have issues. We just want to acknowledge that they're standing with us while we have our issues around gun violence. So thank you, Rabbi Cohen, for coming all the way across St. John's to be with us today. I appreciate your presence.
Thank you once again, Dr. So we're going to turn it over now to Chief Jeffrey Madry, Chief of Community Affairs. We just ask if anyone has questions, just hold up to the end, and we're going to have a whole Q&A session for everybody right over there on your right-hand side. We're also going to be having questions online on our Twitter page, so we'll be taking questions there as well.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Bed-Stuy. I'm here ready to have a speaker message. Salute. I want to thank everybody for being here this evening. I want to thank all the young people who came out and played and had a good time. I want to thank all the police officers, the members of the service who were out there jumping double dutch. They get a little practice. That's what I'm they were playing basketball with the young people. My new role in community affairs, you're talking about police and community working together, positive engagements, positive interactions. To me, this is just a great day and a great start. And this is just one of many, because we're going to take the show on the road. Harlem, Bronx, Staten Island, Queens, Brownsville, other parts of Brooklyn, because we see the rise in gun violence, all right? And I'm glad my partner, my fellow high school alumnus, I'm glad that he brought the doctors out here, because we really are dealing with a public health crisis. And I'm glad that the doctors were around passing out information, being a resource to our community, because that's what we need right now from everyone. Everybody has to step up and step into their role of being a resource to the community. Joe, fix my mic. And we cannot continue to go on and see this uptick in gun violence, because our streets have to be safe. They have to be livable. A gentleman came up to me a little while ago, and I never met him before. He lives the next block over, and he came up here and he had his daughter on the scooter, and he just talked to me about the violence and just thanked me for this day. He was very appreciative. And I told him, I said, this isn't about me and you, this is about your daughter having the ability to ride her scooter 2 and 3 houses each direction from the front door, and without you being worried and without you being concerned. So that's what it's all about. We want to make sure we create our communities, build and dialogue, and have these tough conversations around gun violence. So all these young people, you see in the park, if you just look all around and all the corners, look at all the young people out here playing. And I had another young man say, and I believe he said it to the press, I'm glad the police are here. But sometimes we can't even go to the park because it's not safe. And we can come in here today and play. This is the kind of environment we have to work together to create for our young people. So in my role as the Chief of Community Affairs, this is what I pledge to you, to work with you, partner with you, to bring out our resources, to be a positive impact, to bring value to our neighborhoods and to our young people, to all families. And that's my pledge to you. Again, and I'm really excited and I'm really pleased that my 2 colleagues are here to provide information and resources to this community. And then my brother and my sister, both from Chief Harrison. No, we're all brothers and sisters, but we're not related. But Chief of Detectives, Chief Harrison, and Chief of Patrol Bureau, Brooklyn North, Chief Harrison. Pastor Quan, Reverend Jones, Pastor Smalls. One of my new friends, but a dear friend already, right out of Harlem. He came all the way down to support Brooklyn, Reverend Rice, Bishop Maldonado, Bishop Claudia, and my spiritual dad, Bishop Phillips, is sitting somewhere in the back. I appreciate all of you. And again, this is not only about creating positive environments for cops and community to work together, but this is also a call to action. All right, this is a call to action for all resources, all city resources, all community-based organizations, nonprofits, the clergy, all city agencies. This is a call to action. We have to partner up, our elected officials, all right, our council member, Robert Carnegie, and his partners in government, our district attorney. It is a call to action for everyone. Everyone. If you don't want to see what happened out here a week ago ever happen again, then you have to be a part of this action. You have to stand up and be vocal and make noise and fight for your community. All right? The police is here to fight with you, but we need our communities to stand right next to us, shoulder to shoulder, arm in arm, praying together and being very loud and speaking out against this gun violence. We don't want it here anymore. We do not want it here anymore. So, I'm going to turn it over. I want to hear the good part of this whole presentation from the two chiefs here. But the last person I want to acknowledge, my queen, Helen Badry. Thank you. Thank you for coming out. Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, I love you all. God bless you all. Let's fight together to stop these shootings in our community. Stand up, Brooklyn. Brooklyn, you stand up for so much. So stand up now against gun violence. Stand up now against gun violence. We don't want this here in our communities anymore. We cannot afford to lose more young lives. Our future is being taken away from us when a 1-year-old is taken in these streets. So stand up, Brooklyn. Stand up for what's yours. You deserve quality of life. You deserve respect from the police department. And you deserve not to live in a city and in a community where you can't walk out into your streets and not feel a bullet is going to take you out. Plenty of reverence here, but I'm angry. I am angry about losing young people in the street. I am angry. They do not deserve this, and we have to step up to protect them.
Thank you so much, Chief Badry, Chief of Community Affairs, and your dedication to the community has been ongoing ever since I've been on this job. So right now we're going to turn it over to Chief Rodney Harrison, Chief of Detectives, and
So good afternoon, good evening, everybody. First and foremost, I want to thank the council for coming out and really understanding that there has to be working relationship with our elected officials and the NYPD to make sure we continue to keep this city safe. I also want to congratulate and thank my mentor. You know, I worked with Jeff in Brooklyn North. I was his executive officer, then I was his partner as the chief of detectives in Brooklyn. And let me tell you something, you could not ask for a better human being to be in charge of the relationship building that we're going to be going through in the years to come. And you saw his passion when he was talking. He is without question the right man for the job. And Jeff, I want to congratulate you. God bless you. You and your family. Continue the great work. And thank you for what you've done for me in my career as well. I'm going to make sure that's very important. I also want to congratulate Judy Harrison for now being the new CEO of Brooklyn North. Judy, you have big shoes to fill. You did a phenomenal job in special victims. But I will say this. If anybody could fill this man's shoes, you're the person. I'm just so proud of you, and you're going to do humongous things in this world. So, I'm not a big fan of talking about numbers. And I think a lot of times executives in police departments try to talk about numbers this year versus last year. But I'd be remiss if I didn't share some of the numbers that we're going through right now. Just take a look for the year to date. Shooting incidents. We're up 705 versus 431. That is an increase of 63%. Since COVID started, which we kind of consider COVID starting around March 12th, we've seen an increase in shootings from 571 versus 304. That is an increase of 87%. The biggest problem that I see is out of those victims, 97% of them are people of color. 97%. And out of that number, 255 are under the age of 21. That means our youth are mainly being affected by these incidents. So, listen, we can sit here and make all types of excuses what's going on throughout the city. We can sit here and say it's bail reform. We can sit here and say it's to fund the police. We can sit here and come with all types of excuses. Hey, they got rid of anti-crime. Well, listen, we'll talk about that on the side, but the truth of the matter is this. The New York City detectives are the greatest detectives in the world. And we don't make excuses. And we're going to continue to investigate every single crime that occurs to our fullest. And just take a look at what happened in the media and some of the work that was done. Just saw that incident that happened in the Bronx where that gentleman was walking with his daughter and got gunned down. Guess what those detectives did? They found him and made an arrest. Brandon Hendricks headed to St. John's for scholarship to play basketball. Gunned down. Guess what the New York City detectives did? They made an arrest. We had 2 people shot on Van Sickling. Charles Hernandez just went up to him and shot him down. 7-5 detectives, guess what they did? They made an arrest. There's an individual by the name of Corey Henry who was involved in several shootings in Brownville and East New York. Guess what my detectives did? They made the arrest. So it's very important that people understand, in order for us to be successful, we have to work together. Our numbers of making arrests on some of these shooting incidents have declined a bit. And it's a very, very simple mathematical equation. Cops plus community equals safety. It's a simple mathematical equation. In order for us to have success, we have to work together. You know, I put a couple units together just to show that, listen, we are going to do things differently going into the future. I created a team called Homicide of Victims Liaison Unit. They've been doing a lot of outreach, making sure that family members who lost a loved one to gun violence have that outlook of being able to reach out to somebody to find a way to help out with funeral arrangements or anything else like that. These are the little things that the NYPD is doing that doesn't help their credit score, which I like to use. We also have our Crime Stoppers hotline. 1-800-577-TIPS. In order for us to identify some of these individuals, we need the public to come forward. And you can be compensated. We've given out $10,000 per conviction for some of our cases. So it's important that I share this information with everybody. But at the end of the day, in order for us to make this a safer city, we have to work together. So I'm not going to do what Reverend Margie did and start preaching. But I think he hit it right on the nail. And the truth of the matter is this. We have to do this together to get back on track. For quality of life. For public safety. We can't do it by ourselves. Now I have a lot of my detectives out here today. I have Mike Kemper, who's the chief of detectives of Brooklyn North, and the rest of his team out here. The good-looking men and women in suits. Those are the ones that are investigating all the crimes that are happening out here in Brooklyn. They're the ones that are going to solve the shooting of DeVelle Gardner. And we have a lot of good work done. And I want to reassure the family that we will bring justice to you. We will make sure we identify these individuals and bring them into custody. So once again, if you see something, make sure you say something, share it with us, lead us in the right direction. These investigations are not easy to solve, but in order for us to solve a lot of these shooting incidents, we got to come together. I appreciate your time. Have a good evening. God bless and everybody. Please stay safe.
Thank you so much, Chief Harrison. We really do appreciate that. And like you said, it's fully confidential. Crime Stoppers, fully confidential. I know a lot of people worry about things like that. Like, oh, I give some information and are they going to be able to track it back to me? But it's 100% confidential. I just want to just acknowledge all the hard work that the Detective Bureau has been doing. And like you said, you see all of them lined up over here. Greatest detectives in the world, and I truly believe that. And thank you once again, Chief Harrison. Now I'm going to introduce you to Chief Judith Harrison, Commanding Officer, Patrol Borough, Brooklyn North. The first female Commanding Officer of Patrol Borough, Brooklyn North.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm Judith Harrison. And a little over, actually 3 weeks ago today, I became the Brooklyn North Borough Commander. I'm so excited to be here. I'm proud to be here because I want to serve and protect this community. I'm sad. I'm sad. Just last week alone, we had 24 shooting incidents. The week before that, 22 shooting incidents. Now, I'm not going to stand up here and bore you with a bunch of statistics, but from where I stand, each one of those numbers represents a person, a human being, a victim of senseless gun violence. And while I'm talking about senseless gun violence, just right here, a little over a week ago, 4 people shot. One of the 4, a 1-year-old baby boy. If that's not senseless, I don't know what is. His life mattered. Brooklyn, we have to do better. You deserve better. You deserve better than this. And we're going to give you better than this. As your borough commander, I pledge to help you drive down crime, to enhance the quality of your life, and to improve police-community relations. I know we have a fractured relationship. I know that. But we need each other. And the only way that we're going to be able to do this is if we do it with each other. Cops can't do it alone. We need you. Community, we need you. Clergy, we need you. Elected officials, Councilmember Carnegie. Thank you so much, Chief Harrison Sr., for putting this together, because this is us. This is us coming together to drive down violence. And that's the way we're going to do it. We're going to do it together. I promise you that. We're going to do it together. Before I stop talking, I want to acknowledge Community Affairs over there. Thank you. All the men and women in blue. I have precinct commanders over there. Thank you for what you do. I see you over there, Mr. Faison. Thank you for what you do. All of the clergy, all the elected officials, but most importantly, all of you. We have to come together and do this, and we're going to do this. You believe me? Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we drive down violence? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. I promise you that. Thank you for allowing me some time to speak. And again, I want to congratulate you publicly, sir. Yes, I do have big shoes to fill, and I'm up to the task. And I know you're just a phone call away. And Chief Harrison Sr., you've been a mentor to me and a big brother. You're just, you're senior. You're just a phone call away too. That's how we do it, together. Thank you, Brooklyn.
Thank you so much, Chief Harrison. Thank you for your. First of all, she's so passionate about running this borough. I'm so excited to see the wonderful things that's going to come out of Control Borough Public North under your leadership. Thank you so much, Chief. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to open up to questions. So I'm sure a lot of people have questions. So here's what we're going to do. Are we going to pass the mic, Karen? So we're going to look right there to the right. Microphone right there. Start lining up and we'll open it up to questions. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Patty Patricia Ann Robinson. And I know that manners and behaviors begin at home. We have to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. We have to sit down at the breakfast table together and eat breakfast together as a family. We have to do lunch together. We have to do dinner together. We, the family, is number one. Then we branch out into the church. And when we go out into the church, we have to not look at one another all funny like we don't know who we are. We can't be up there talking about, who do they think they are, what they think they got on, who they think they are. We can't do that.
I have to run. You gotta go pick up my grands, man. But you know,
We
good
can't
seeing.
have attitudes and gripes every time we look at each other. It's not good.
I was
So
waiting.
then we go to the schoolhouse.
I got the Denton 3700s for you. I got y'all listen. Yo. You know, I even pulled out the 1200s. I said, but we can't do nothing right now. But they did give me some events.
If we love one another, and I heard that love covers the multitude of the faults.
I get a lot of comments on you on the turntable on YouTube.
Let's get some love together.
Hold on.
I'm sorry that wasn't
I'm like, yeah, for real. When you go to it, you see it. God bless you. Yeah, all right.
Good evening, everyone. My name is John Rodriguez. I come from New York, 75th Precinct. I want to say congratulations to the individuals that are up there. I want to say thank you to all the attendees that are over there. I know the community very well. I do feel that. I'm too hurt with the times that the kids are being shot in the street. All the protests going on. It's beautiful.
Watch out, they block me in down there. I hope not. Oh my God. And oh boy. How's it going? All right, all right. Man, I hope they ain't got me blocked. I'm getting ready to climb the sidewalk. I'm getting ready to climb the sidewalk. How's it going?